What's up, guys? You're watching this because your wife isn't intimate with you and you're not sure what to do. So there's really essentially one thing you have to remember with this problem, and that is at the core of this, your wife doesn't feel safe. Now, there's lots of reasons why your wife doesn't feel safe and therefore doesn't want to be intimate with you. So I'm going to cover two big ones. One you can't control, but you can help lead, and the other one you can control because it has everything to do with your actions. So the number one reason, or I shouldn't say the number one reason, but a common reason that women don't want to be intimate with their long-term partners is because they've got trauma in the past. They were harmed or they were the object of unwanted sexual contact, which is very common. 4 out of 5 women have unwanted sexual contact. I mean, rape, touch, advances, all those kinds of things. And what happens is when they get into a safe relationship and the years click by and they've not dealt with it and they've been ignoring it because honestly it sucks to have to feel through and to deal with it, they their bodies and their nervous system and their brains start to force them to confront these kinds of things. So you can't control that. You have to acknowledge that with her. If you have had a conversation with her and she said, yeah, I've been the victim of something, then you need to encourage her to get help. There's all kinds of help out there. There's therapies, there's free support group, there's paid support group, there's all kinds of stuff. But one thing that you can't hold her to is essentially making her feel like it's her fault now, you know, that she should be able to just push through it because she can't, and nor should you make it feel like that's her problem. Yes, it's okay for you to feel like you have needs, but for you to say that she's got to essentially meet those needs and ignore what her nervous system and her body is doing is unreasonable, and in the long run will just cause more harm than good. So now that that's out of the way, remember, encourage her to go get help, do something about it, give her lots of love, lots of reassurance that you are not rejecting her, that you're not mad at her or these kinds of things. And know that it's a process. It's going to take some time for her to get to that place, to find the right person, to find the right group, all those kinds of things. You kind of need a long haul approach to this. Okay, the second thing is the main reason a woman feels unsafe is because you've not been providing the leadership that a man needs to provide in order for her to feel safe. Now, there's a couple other scenarios that this happens in. A very common one is a guy is a great provider. He makes sure that all the things that are needed for the home are there. The money's there, the security's there, but he also tends to have a lot of entitlement because, quite frankly, he just doesn't have the communication skills needed for him to essentially lead and pursue his wife in such a way that she feels romanced and put at ease and wants to be pursued and then wants to be intimate. Now, some really basic things that you can think about here is like, how do I pursue my wife? How do I lead her in such a way that she feels seen and that I create the conditions for love to be easy for us to access? Now, the last thing is, if you are clingy, if you are needy, if you are codependent, if you are the consummate nice guy, then brother, that kind of action activates her maternal instincts. And I'm going to say that again. Her maternal instincts. When she has to feel like she is mothering you in any way, when she feels like her body and her mind have to get into a mothering place in order for you to feel okay, there's nothing erotic about that. There's no place for erotic energy and intimacy to come out and to be exercised in a healthy, beautiful, generative way. In other words, it's good for her and it's good for you. So I want you to remember these kinds of 3 simple things that a clinical psychologist and researcher on human sexuality. She did this big study. Her name is Esther Perel. I'm sure you've heard of her. And she did a 2017 talk about the 3 universal elements of desire. And this is really good. You'll want to probably watch the whole thing, but I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version right now. So number 1, and this is true, by the way, for all ages, for all cultures, religions, hetero or homosexual relationships. These are the 3 universal elements for desire. In 10 years of working with men, if a man decides to pursue these 3 things, it always works for him. So number 1, make sure that you guys actually have enough distance between you. So distance, Esther says, is a time and place away from one another. Weekends away, nights away, nights with you and your guys, nights and weekends with her and her girls, that kind of thing. And it gives you the place and the time for her to have an imagination for what it's like to be with you again. So number 1 is distance, time and distance apart. Number 2, people seeing their partner in their element. Now, if you are kind of the consummate business guy who's done really well, but that's all your identity is about, and you have lost your purpose elsewhere, then you need to find your purpose. You need to tap into that part of your life that you feel like you are kind of floating on cloud 9, like you're in the flow state. Sometimes that's business, sometimes that's church, sometimes it's being with your guys, sometimes it's pursuing a hobby, but notice that it's you being in your element and not you making her your emotional center, needing her to validate you. This is extremely important. That thing that is going to complete you and help you find your purpose is different for every guy, but I can say some real shortcuts are: pursue God with everything in you. Pray. Ask God to show you what your purpose is. Be around men. Men only become men around other men. Now you keep thinking like, well, I'm just here to watch this video about having more intimacy with my wife. Man, your wife needs to see you thrive apart from her. When you can thrive apart from her and find your purpose and live from that purpose and start to lead her, she's going to be more attracted to you. So the third thing that Esther talks about in her talk about the 3 universal elements of desire is couples who can experience novelty together. Now you're probably thinking like Cosmopolitan magazine novelty, and actually it's not that at all. Novelty could be experiencing going dancing together or doing something on a date that you normally wouldn't do, not just the same old dinner and a movie, but going on a trip, trying a new hobby together. In other words, you need the kind of mental and physical experience of something new so that new parts of the brain can be activated. There's too much pressure, I think, in trying to pursue this through just, new stuff in the bedroom. If she can't relax on her own, then trying to do something new in the bedroom is just going to make it harder. So look, man, like I said before at the top of this thing, what you have to remember is that your wife needs to feel safe. Your wife needs to see you thrive and feel led by you. Being led doesn't mean being told what to do. Being led means creating the conditions for safety to exist. Being led means you not looking to her to have all of your emotional needs met. No person is meant to meet all of our emotional needs. It can't happen. I don't look to my wife, who I've been happily married to for almost 17 years. Our erotic life just keeps getting better and better. Our friendship keeps getting better and better, but she can't bear that weight of needing to be my emotional center. No one should do that for one another. Another thing Esther Perel says is culture wants us to melt into each other. And I agree with that. I completely agree with that. I think culture wants us to be codependent, and it's the easiest thing to do. In other words, making our whole sense of safety being predicated or hooked on another person's approval of ourselves. I mean, that goes into deep childhood stuff. So remember, you have to unhook her from being your emotional center. And if you are a consummate fixer, you got to make sure that you're not continuing to do that for her. So get time apart, do some novel things together, and find your purpose. Make sure that you are pursuing the life that you want by keeping your promises to yourself, doing what you say you're going to do, and you will start to make room in your relationship so that intimacy can thrive again. Now, I've been helping men do this for 10 years, so I've got a lot more to say about it, but it's a lot to take in at once. So here's what I want you to do. Hit the like and subscribe button below. If you need some more help and you're feeling like this codependency thing is like kind of hitting you, then there's a 9-page free document I built that shows you a proven 3-step process on how to unwind from that. That's going to kind of give you a good overview of what it's going to take. You can kind of fill in the blanks on what that looks like for your life. So click below in the description and go get that for free. If you resonated with this or think I'm full of shit or whatever it is, don't forget to comment. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys. See you guys next time. Take care.